Alright, called Pun Piso. Look at this. The wind. In ancient times, the spirit world, along with the sun. Our God, the sun, give us life with its rays. In ancient times, the spirit world. You breathe, you exhale the spirits. They keep you alive.
The lion is symbolic of the rays of the sun.
This living the body, the air, the wings, is 5,000 years old. That's what all the Christians and the rest of people take their beliefs from. The soul is down.
In Egyptian creation myth, the god Atum masturbated, creating everything with semen and milk. And you can see the stars here in the outer borders. But here is very interesting because the way you adore the semen of the god is by kneeling down, as you can see this figure. Kneeling down in supplication, just like the Christians do today. They get on their knees to adore Jesus Christ. The same thing here. They adopted this from the ancient belief. They get on their knees to adore the milk, the semen of the god. Nothing pornographic about it, just a simple reality.
Ra, the sun god, giving us life. We, with his rays, is like a penis fertilizing a cave of creation, creating life, a human life. The sun fertilizes the earth. He is our creator. He also represents the penis, which is fertilizes cave of creation, creating also human life. You can see it. And the spirit world. And the spirit world is the air. The soul is down there by the air in our lungs.
Here is the proof, taken from the Egyptian Book of the Dead.
The rays of the sun forming like a star, very similar to the star of Caesar, the comet.
God was in nature. The stars, the moons, everything. The air in our lungs, the soul, the spirit. And it's interesting how the air was captured.
Manifests itself, which is nothing but the wind, the spirit world. You can see it on the trees, on the air we exhale.
How would you capture the air? With ribbons, with things that float. Capture the air, capture the soul. That's where this comes from. That's where this comes from. Sacred. All religions use this. You cover your head. Actually, you're trapped in the air.
Is seen in the Arapakis in Rome. The goddess Venus, Genetrix, life giver. Look at the goddess next to him. They all have covering the sacred spirit. Notice the swastika, symbol of the sun. What is the banner? A sacred banner, which also is called a vexillium.
And it also is sacred. It has its sacred ribbons flowing in the air. It is sacred.
The god Neptune. Notice he is being covered by his grabbing, capturing the spirit world above his head. Japtis have ribbons floating around. Christ Hadrian sacrificing. His toga covering his head. He has captured the spirit. From the Villa of the Mysteries in Pompeii, notice the lady capturing the air, the sacred, and the god. The sacred ribbons and the god, the initiate to the mysteries, is covering a phallus with a purple cloth. Oh, again, notice the ribbon. Sacred ribbon.
What is it? Where is the sun? Where is this mysterious force that we feel, that we breathe? It was nothing but the spirit world. Today we know as air. They were old representatives of the soul. And the pigeons were the messengers of Venus, the sacred bird of Venus. The reason is used by the Catholic Church as a Holy Spirit represented by a bird. But it was very mysterious to the ancients. So, they had to be gods.
Well, Don't I look holy right now? So, that's where all these things come from. You know, the Catholic Church and a lot of priests and even the rabbis, you know, they use these little ribbons, these little things that hang from, you know, cords and things and ribbons. They're all sacred. They even kiss it before they do it.
Birth of Venus by Botticelli. Notice the air, notice the sacred ribbons held by the lady on the right. And by the way, the shell represents a vulva. She was born out of the semen of Neptune of the sea.
Everything in the Roman Empire, the vast Roman Empire, was sacred. Everything. It depends on many gods. The togas and the sacred, as they do today, the Jews do the same, the rabbis. They dye it with a special purple dye that was used by the Roman emperors. It comes from a mollusk. And they call it the techelet. It's a sacred, weird creature. No, this is simply a mollusk. And they use the ink that the juices, they really stink. And sometimes they do it during the sun or during the shade, and they use the dye, it turns purple, sometimes blue. So that's what the sacred dye, everything was sacred. I'm imagining that even if they want to take a leak, they look at their penises and says, oh, and they rub it, and they say, oh, you know, this is sacred, and rub the head of the god. Everything was sacred to them. Nothing pornographic. Sacred.
Ancient men look at the spirit world, at the clouds, and seeing the images of their loved ones. This, of course, we know as pareidolia. We're trying to see figures in the clouds, and I'm pretty sure you can see here something. You make something out of this. Water from the sky was a mystery to the ancients also. It came from the spirit world. And also had a static electricity, lightnings and bolts. Water from the sky, just like the mysterious air of the spirit world, were a mystery to the ancients. They were gods, just like the birds.
The sun was the giver of life, the penis in the sky. But it had also a consort, a goddess, and that was the moon. Also very mysterious. The moon floated in the spirit world, the air, the atmosphere, right? And had a companion that wanted to be as good as
It's amazing when you
her.
see in November the moon and Venus, which means Venus Genetrix, the giver of life, and the goddess, the moon, suspended in the spirit world. Amazing.
An eclipse was confusing to the ancient priests, but Venus was a competitor for the light. Venus, the moon, the life giver, the bringer of life. It was called Lucem Ferra, bringer of light for the Romans. And he was always sometimes very close to the moon, competing for her, the light. That's where the term Lucifer comes from. But the retards in the Catholic Church is Venus, the bringer of light, Lucem Ferra. The supernatural and all that doesn't exist. Gods do not exist. Everything is produced by the brain. Beliefs like that in God or the supernatural and superstitions and things like that belong in the Middle Ages during the Roman Empire 1700 years ago. So believing things like that today is a mental illness. It's retardation, it's ignorance. Many times when a person is very well educated and they believe in these things, they're actually retarded. There's something is wrong with them. And it's a pity. They should get educated and learn. It's fun when we learn. Remember, the more one knows, the more difficult it is for others to lie to you. That's the truth. I will continue with my videos, give you a little hints of what things are, all based on evidence and in reality, down-to-earth realities. Religious people are poor people. They should be helped. They're quite ignorant and deluded and retarded. It's a pity. The brain is an awful thing to waste. There's only one life. Don't waste it.